What if I told you that when a woman's heart is drifting away, she rarely admits it directly, but her words will betray her before her actions do. She'll say, "I just need space. You deserve better. I'm not sure what I want anymore," and you'll hear confusion. But behind it is a truth most men ignore. She's already giving her emotional energy to someone or something else. Carl Jung believed that the unconscious always reveals itself, and when a woman starts detaching, her language softens, her affection fades, and her words carry the weight of what she's not saying. Right now, you may be trying harder, texting more, doing whatever it takes to pull her back. But Stoicism teaches this. When someone's heart leaves the room, chasing their shadow only humiliates you. If you're ready to hear her words with clarity, not denial, like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment. I see through words. I listen to patterns. Number 1. When he's just a friend means you're no longer the priority. There's a quiet betrayal that doesn't begin in the bedroom, but in a conversation, often disguised with 5 simple words. He's just a friend. That sentence may seem innocent, but in the language of emotional affairs, it's one of the first signs a woman's loyalty is starting to drift. Imagine your relationship as a vessel on the sea. The first signs of it taking on water aren't always dramatic. They're subtle, a strange new name mentioned too often, a laugh that lingers too long at a message you didn't send, a defensive tone when you ask a fair question. These are not storms yet, but they are the darkening clouds. When a woman is emotionally loyal, she protects the sacred space between you. She doesn't let another man slip into that intimacy, not even in casual conversation. So when she starts talking about a friend with too much energy, familiarity, or frequency, she's not just sharing, she's signaling. Something has shifted. This doesn't mean she's lying. Often, she truly believes he's just a friend. But what matters isn't the label, it's the emotional investment behind it. If she begins confiding in him more than you, laughing with him more than you, or defending him more than you, it means the emotional gravity has shifted. In the Stoic worldview, this is where awareness must sharpen. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change." The Stoic man doesn't accuse out of fear. He observes out of clarity. He sees the erosion before it becomes collapse. So let's talk about signs that he's just a friend is no longer just that. She brings him up in conversations where he's irrelevant. She smiles at her phone with a glow that used to be reserved for you. She gets uncharacteristically defensive when you ask, "How close are you two?" She starts sharing private matters with him, things she no longer discusses with you. This isn't about being controlling. It's about recognizing a shift in emotional loyalty. When your partner begins forming a bond that rivals or replaces yours, it's no longer about trust. It's about boundaries. The Stoic response isn't to chase, plead, or interrogate. It's to return to self-governance. Ask yourself, does her behavior respect the emotional space between us? Or has she chosen to open that space to someone else? If the answer is the latter, your job is not to beg for your place back. It's to reclaim your emotional territory through clarity, presence, and self-respect. Say what you see, calmly, without accusation. Example, when you talk about him like that, and defend him when I express discomfort, it doesn't feel like I'm your emotional priority anymore. That's not jealousy, that's awareness. A woman who values you will course correct. A woman who doesn't was already drifting long before she said, "I need space." So set the boundary, not with anger, but with stillness. The kind of stillness that says, "I choose truth over illusion." Because in love, just like in war, the first betrayal isn't a strike. It's a slow turning away, masked in laughter, protected by denial, and spoken through phrases like, "He's just a friend." Don't wait for the fire to burn down your house before you recognize the smoke. Comment below, "I trust my awareness more than her excuses." Number 2. when she gaslights you to hide what she's doing. It doesn't start with an affair. It starts with you feeling crazy for sensing something's off. You notice a shift in her energy, in the way she answers questions, in the holes that start appearing in her stories. You bring it up, not to accuse, but to understand. But instead of clarity, you get something far more dangerous: deflection. You're paranoid. Why are you so insecure? You always assume the worst. That's not a conversation. That's gaslighting. And it's not just disrespectful. It's a form of emotional warfare. Gaslighting is the psychological sleight of hand that flips the script. It turns your intuition into accusation. It takes your emotional intelligence, your inner compass, and tries to make you doubt it. It doesn't just hide the truth. It warps your entire sense of reality. Stoicism teaches us that perception is everything. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, but what happens when you're trained by the person you trust to question your own reactions. That's when Stoic clarity becomes your greatest weapon. Let's break this down. When a woman starts manipulating the narrative, she may do it in small ways, changing her story slightly each time you ask, avoiding eye contact when questioned, turning the conversation around to your supposed flaws, introducing new accusations. Are you the one hiding something? To put you on the defensive, painting herself as the victim whenever you approach a hard truth. This isn't emotional immaturity. It's a shield, a tactic to protect herself from accountability, especially if she's engaged in emotional or physical betrayal. What's the Stoic response? Don't react. Observe. Document. Stay still in the storm. You don't need to catch her. You don't need to scream for the truth. All you need is to stop abandoning your truth. If something feels off, it usually is. Not always because of infidelity, but always because of misalignment. Gaslighting only works on those who seek external validation more than internal clarity. The moment you detach from her version of the story and return to your own discernment, the spell breaks. And here's what happens when you stop reacting. She loses control of the narrative. She begins to reveal more through contradictions. She becomes uncomfortable with your calm. And eventually, she has to either tell the truth or leave. But you don't need either outcome to win, because the true Stoic victory is peace of mind. It's knowing that no one can shake you from your reality. You will walk away if needed, not to punish her, but to protect your clarity. Never forget, gaslighting thrives in noise. Truth thrives in silence. And when your silence is laced with presence, awareness, and boundaries, she has no power left to manipulate. If someone's words make you doubt what your soul already knows, you don't need to prove them wrong. You only need to walk in your truth until they're left arguing with their own shadow. Comment below, my clarity is louder than her confusion. Number 3, I need space is not always what it seems. There's a moment in every man's journey when she utters the phrase, I just need space, and on the surface, it sounds reasonable, even noble. We all need time for reflection, healing, and self-growth. But beneath that calm surface, there's often a far more turbulent truth. I need space can be a soft exit strategy, a way to detach while keeping you emotionally within reach. It's a phrase designed not just to pull away, but to delay the pain of a breakup. For her, not for you. You're left in a limbo, wondering if you should wait, if you should fight for her, if space is truly space, or the setup for replacement. In the philosophy of Stoicism, clarity is mercy. As Marcus Aurelius taught, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. And when a woman says she needs space, yet continues to stay in your life, keeps her options open, or grows closer to another man during that space, she's not being clear. She's being convenient. Let's break this down. I need space is often accompanied by subtle signs. She stops initiating affection, but still wants emotional support. She reduces communication, but doesn't fully let you go. She spends time with friends you've never met, especially one particular male friend. She's emotionally cold, but asks you not to give up on her. This isn't healing, it's testing life without you, while keeping the door half open in case she needs to return. In Stoic terms, this is not about punishing her, it's about protecting your peace. You don't need to analyze her motives endlessly. You only need to observe her actions when words become soft smokescreens. Here's the hard truth. When someone wants space, your job is not to follow them into it. Your job is to honor the request completely and step back with full integrity, not halfway, not with daily check-ins, not with "I'm still here if you need," but with silence that carries weight. Why? Because the moment she uses distance to test your grip and you release it, she's faced with a mirror, a clear view of what life looks like without your presence, your protection, your emotional energy. And if she values you, that space will pull her back. But if she was already emotionally gone, your calm detachment gives her permission to exit clean, without drama, without begging, and without breaking you. The Stoic response here is not anger, it's sovereignty. You let her go without chasing, because you trust that clarity is more powerful than clinging. You don't use silence to punish, you use it to honor yourself. Because real love isn't afraid of closeness, and it never needs space to explore someone else. So if she needs space, don't shrink. Expand in presence, in purpose, in peace. That's how you move from being an option to becoming unreachable. Comment below, I give space without losing myself. Number 4, you deserve someone better. The last lie before she leaves. It sounds sweet, doesn't it? Almost selfless, almost noble, almost like she's protecting you. But when a woman says, you deserve someone better, it's rarely about your worth. It's about her guilt, her avoidance, her quiet attempt to escape without the burden of truth. In reality, this phrase is a verbal exit strategy designed to soften the impact of what she knows you already feel. Her heart isn't in it anymore. This sentence doesn't just end relationships. It erodes your self-perception. It tricks you into wondering, was I too much or not enough? And in doing so, it confuses heartbreak with humility. The Stoic answer to that confusion is brutal in its clarity. If someone believes you deserve better, but won't do the work to be that better for you, it's not kindness, it's cowardice. Let's examine the behavioral context of this phrase. It often appears after a long emotional withdrawal, colder tone, shorter messages, absence of affection, right after you question the distance, and she has no real answer. Once she's emotionally invested elsewhere and needs a way out that doesn't feel like betrayal. When she knows you've noticed the disconnection, but can't bear the guilt of saying, I don't love you anymore. And so she frames it as a gift. You're amazing. You're so good. I just can't give you what you need. You deserve someone better. Here's the Stoic truth. This is not a compliment. This is a mask, worn to avoid full accountability, a clean goodbye on the outside, but a deeply manipulative act when it covers emotional neglect or infidelity. As Seneca taught, he who is brave is free. That includes emotional bravery, the courage to speak the truth even when it's messy. If she truly respected you, she'd give you the dignity of honesty, not a poetic version of escape. The Stoic man does not cling to beautiful lies. He listens not to how something is said, but to what it avoids. So what do you do when you hear this phrase? You don't chase it. You don't ask for another chance. You don't beg her to see your worth. Because the moment someone uses this phrase, they've already made a decision. They just want you to carry the emotional weight of it. And your response must be just as clear. I agree. I deserve someone honest. That's not bitterness. That's self-possession. The Stoic path is not about reacting to rejection. It's about responding with truth. And the truth is, you never deserve someone better. You deserve someone true. Let her go, fully, peacefully, without trying to rewrite her story or redeem your worth. Because the man who walks away from beautiful excuses with dignity becomes the man no one forgets. Comment below, I choose truth over comfort, every time. Number 5. When silence says it all, protecting your peace after betrayal. Infidelity doesn't always arrive in the form of a stranger in your bed. More often, it begins in a quiet room, where the emotional air grows cold, where conversations shrink, eyes avoid, and something unspoken stands between you. Before there's cheating, there's distance. Before there's a goodbye, there's a hollow, "I love you." And before there's truth, there's the 4 phrases every man must learn to recognize. He's just a friend. Gaslighting and blame shifting. I need space. You deserve someone better. Each one is a veil, a linguistic illusion, a way to delay the inevitable or escape it entirely, without facing the responsibility of honesty. But a Stoic man doesn't need confessions to see clearly. He reads between the lines. He watches behavior more than he hears words. He understands that language is often used not to reveal the truth, but to hide it. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Yet in modern love, truth is rarely offered. It must be discerned. And so, when you hear those phrases, don't argue. Don't demand proof. Don't beg for transparency. Return to presence. Return to clarity. Return to self. If she's emotionally checked out, her words will tell you, not in their meaning, but in their contradictions. You'll feel it in her silence if she's already attached elsewhere. If she's no longer invested, her kindness will feel forced, her affection mechanical, her stories full of edits. You don't need to catch her. You only need to trust your discomfort, because that discomfort is a gift. Your subconscious pulls you back to alignment, away from fantasy, toward reality. So what should you do? Here's what you don't do. Don't chase mixed signals. Don't settle for almost honesty. Don't try to fix what's already left the room emotionally. Here's what you do. Honor your intuition. The Stoic path begins with awareness, not suspicion, but steady, grounded knowing. Set your boundary, not from anger, but from worth. You are not a backup plan. You are not a safety net. Withdraw with dignity. She may expect you to fight, to cry, to cling. Instead, you calmly exit with your peace intact. Reflect, but don't ruminate. Use the experience to clarify what you will and will not tolerate, not to punish her, but to elevate you. Build forward, not to win the breakup, but to ensure your energy is no longer bound to someone who chose confusion over truth. Because in the Stoic philosophy, heartbreak is not a tragedy. It's a threshold. It's the moment you walk away from illusions and toward a life built on clarity, integrity, and power. And here's the final truth. A woman who hides behind poetic exits has already betrayed the relationship. But a man who responds with clarity, silence, and self-respect, that's a man she'll never be able to forget, no matter how far she runs. Your peace is your responsibility. Your standard is your shield. And your silence, when guided by truth, is the loudest statement you'll ever make. Comment below. My peace is louder than her words. You came here wondering what her words really mean. Now you know, it's not about what she said. It's about what her tone, timing, and distance are screaming. When her heart is with you, her language draws you in, but her words become vague, detached, and emotionally sanitized when it's elsewhere. And this is where the Stoic man rises. He doesn't beg. He doesn't negotiate to stay in someone's fading orbit. He steps back, not out of anger, but out of clarity and self-respect. Because the man who honors his worth doesn't fear her silence. He listens to it, and he lets it go. If you're ready to stop trying to fix what's already emotionally abandoned you, like this video, subscribe, and comment. I release what no longer holds my peace. Stay calm, stay clear, because the moment you stop chasing closure, you reclaim your power.